Sabbath. My today topic is Abomination of desolation, standing in the holy place. Personally, I understood this only this February. I was as an Adventist for 48 years. But for 48 years, I didn't understand this. But because I spoke many times after this, some of you understand this. Some of you will not understand this yet. Well, this article comes out Matthew 24, verse 15, which is a center of the Matthew 24, verse 15. And this is quite important because it shows what will be happen to us. Okay, we read it together?
Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand.
Whoever reads, let him understand. Abomination of desolation and standing in the holy place, these two articles we are going to study today. Sure, this is talking about Sunday law. Maybe for Bill, this is a somewhat very new topic, isn't it? Why? What is a Sunday law? Okay. Sunday law is a kind of forced law, federal law that will come out from the USA, and which is made by Obama. Actually, it was the foundation was finished already. And during the time Obama, who was the vice president? Biden. Yeah, that's right. Now Biden becomes the president of the USA. But I'm not saying that during the time of Biden, the Sunday law will be starting. Sunday law is starting like this. All Sunday, we will close. We don't do any activities. This is something for the nature. The reason is because all the natural disasters comes out. And also the family day, according to the Pope, a family day. At least one day we should take a rest as a no crime at all. And Sunday, all the store, including like kind of bar or selling alcoholic beverage, or even the supermarket, they will close everything. And they will save the fuel too, so that they can save the planet. So it will start like that. Then later on, it will become kind of forced way to keep the Sunday. And everybody forced to be worship on Sunday. Well, this is very hard to believe, but Adventists, we have the prophecy talking about this, and we didn't know what a verse exactly talking about, but recently we found that this is the verse talking about the Sunday law. Okay, this is the introduction about our Adventist. I look for the Britannica Encyclopedia that it says like this. About the Adventist, we are observing Saturday rather than Sunday. Is that correct? As the Sabbath this day, according to the Bible, was instituted by God. Yes. And the commandments concerning Sabbath rest is a part of God's eternal law. Second, they also avoid eating meat and talking other, like, there are some dirty food we consider, like a baboy, a pig. And also about the food, we were well known that we are following in the Leviticus, right? So we believe that the one God said this is clean and unclean, so we eat only clean food, but no unclean fish or the meat, we don't take it. This is the big differences between ordinary like a Christian and Adventist. But there are some more actually doctrines, something like this. Investigative judgment. We said this is started already, 1844. This doctrine also, we only have this kind of doctrine. Okay. And we say that millennium will start after Jesus' second coming. So some are counting from other period. But we are counting after Jesus come, after we ascended to the heaven. That is the time that millennium start for 1,000 years. Okay. And we have a gift of prophecy. this is not only we have a gift of prophecy, but we have only one gift of prophecy through the Ellen G. White. She says she's not prophet, but we consider it as her as a prophet because of whatever was written up to now, 100% was ongoing, and it was found out either. Well, for the Ellen G. White, I want to share with you more detail in the later. It's up to you if you are going to take it her as a prophet or not. Anyway, Mormon has their own prophet. Also, Jehovah's Witness has their own prophet. But as we, also Adventists, we have also gift of prophecy. And in Revelation, the last church should have the gift of prophecy too. Okay. And Sunday law, for the last, Sunday law will be stand as a federal law of USA. This was spoken by Adventists since 1865. Can you imagine 1865? This is how many years ago? Which is how many years ago? Long time ago, isn't it? Really a long time ago, yeah. So this is about like 180 years plus, 190 years now. From that long time ago, we were saying about Sunday law will be occur and it will be stand in as a federal law from the USA. Well, actually about this Sunday law message, I was given this favor. But if you didn't receive the message, what is this? What icon is this? Messenger. You see the icon, then what that is? Yeah. So if you add me as a friend in Messenger to receive the message every morning, you can add me in Messenger with that address. Now what is this? Do you know any icon? KakaoTalk. That's right, KakaoTalk. In KakaoTalk, you can add me with this ID, and I can send you the message. But you need to send me first, because I don't add you, I don't know who they are. So just to send me email, like a messenger or through KakaoTalk, share a message to me. Then I will share the message with you every morning. Okay? Well, I want to share about what is abomination of desolation today. Therefore, when you see, in other words, you can see this. This is not happening without your knowing. Abomination of desolation, spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy places, holy place. Whoever reads, let him understand. Matthew 24, verse 15. Same verse we can find in the Mark chapter 13. Can you read it, the Mark?
So you see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing where it ought not, and you understand. And let those who are in Judah flee to the mountains.
Yes. Jesus is saying that when you see this, you need to flee to the mountain. In other words, this is very related with our safety. Do you understand? So if somebody says that we don't need to study the Daniel, but Jesus spoke that we need to study the Daniel, isn't it? Then the Adventists is the most well-known people who study Daniel compare other churches. We study Daniel and Revelation very much. Even me, every morning for last 2 months, 3 months, I study the Daniel. Quite a long time. Study again and study again. Problem is like this. Adventist knows many of the truth among the Daniel, but for example, like Daniel chapter 10 to chapter 12, there are many verses that we still don't understand properly. That's why we need to study the Daniel more and Revelation also more. Well, this speaking we can find in the Daniel about 3 times. Can you read the first one? Can you read it?
I heard the Holy One speaking, and another one said, as the one was speaking, how long will the vision be concerning the daily sacrifices and the transgression of desolation, the keeping of all
Yes. The second one is this. Can you read it together?
And forces shall be mustered by them, and they shall defile the sanctuary force. Then they shall take away the daily sacrifices, and place thereof in the abomination of desolation.
Yes. Is that similar with what Jesus said? There are a third one. Can you read this?
And from the time that the daily sacrifice is taken away, and the abomination of desolation is set up, there shall be 1,290 days.
Yes. So if we understand this, there are another prophecy follow this. But this one, we need to take a time to study more. So we are going to study about abomination of desolation from the Daniel chapter 11 verse 31. Okay. Daniel chapter 11 verse 31 says that, and forces shall be mustered by him. Okay. And they shall defile the sanctuary fortress. Then they shall take away the daily sacrifices and place there the abomination of desolation. The forces here, the original word, the Jeroah. The Jeroah means more on arm and the power. Only 3 times it was translated as a forces, as army, but actually the force there is meaning the power, the arms, because arm means the power. So when we say that we are leaning on his power, and we are using the Jeroah too. So in other words, this is the saying like this. Because he has a power, he make it dirty, the sanctuary, the fortress, and he stopped the tamid. The tamid it describes, it says it like a daily sacrifice. The original word is tamid. But tamid could be many things, which is we do it every day, which is connect with the God. That's the tamid. It could be prayer, it could be worship, which we have connecting with God. So it says that with his power he will stop it, and he will make it dirty, the holy places. Okay. Now we need to look for what is the abomination. Abomination is a shikich. Shikuch is the abomination. Abomination, the meaning is like this, abomination, idol, or when you worship idol, that is abomination to the God. Abomination is like this. I hate that to see, that is abomination. For example, if somebody like has some habit, bad habit, and I don't like to see, but if he always do it, that is abomination to me. You understand? So you understand what does abomination means, right? Okay. This abomination, this shikuch, the shikuch, I find out all the verses coming out the shikuch in the Bible. It comes out 28 times in Old Testament. The abomination in the Bible, it says that, can you read this? Then you will understand about abomination. Okay?
So their abominations and their idols which were among them, wood and stone and silver and gold.
Yes. When God sees the people worship idol made by silver and gold, or either wood or stone. So for God, it is abomination to him when the people worship the idol. Okay, next.
The children of Judah of the land and my sons, says the Lord, they have split their abominations in the house which is called by my name, to put you.
So they have set their abomination. So what is abomination? It could be idol itself too. Do you understand? Okay. Next one.
If you would return, O Israel, says the Lord, return to me, and if you would put away your abominations out of my sight, then you shall not be moved, and you shall swear to the Lord with judgment and righteousness. The nation shall bless and
when we like to go back to the God, we should take out our abomination from us in his sight. Then you shall not be moved, and you shall swear the Lord lives in truth. In truth. The truth here is the same truth, the commandments of God, and also the law of God is the truth. It's the same words with that truth there. So, the meaning of abomination to God is when we worship him very wrong way. For example, abomination is the worshiping the idols. So when we worship God, also when we make a wrong way of worship, that's also abomination to the Lord. Let's read this verse, then you will know the way is wrong, that's still abomination. Can you read it?
Therefore say to the house of Israel, thus says the Lord God, are you defiling yourself in the manner of your fathers, and committing harlotry according to their abominations?
Yes. So the manner of your father and committing harlotry according to their abomination. So abomination also means the way they worship God. Do you understand? So if we worship wrong way, that's still abomination to the Lord. When we worship God, how we need to worship? With the spirit and the truth. We need to worship him, right? So if we don't worship him with spirit and the truth, that's still abomination to God. Okay. Abomination means, so when people worship idols, that's your abomination. When people worship God in vain, that's your abomination. When people worship God in wrong way, still abomination. It's your abomination to God. In the beginning, when Adam and Eve make a sin, the same day God is coming down to the earth, and he is looking for Adam and Eve. Sure, God knows that. And Adam answered, because I'm afraid, because I see myself naked, I'm afraid to see you. That's why I was hiding. So God called them to come out and give them the clothes by the ship. And it says the plan of God is announced here. Can you read it together?
And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel.
Okay. Who is I? This is spoken by God. So I is who? I is God. Okay. I will put enmity between you. God is talking to the Satan. You is a Satan. Okay. And the woman. Who is a woman? Woman? Yes. Woman is a church. Woman is chosen people, Israel. So Old Testament, Israel means the woman. And New Testament, the church is the woman. So God says that I will make you and the Satan and the church enemy each other. And between your seed, who is your seed? Who is your seed? The you is who? You is the Satan. So Satan's seed is children of Satan. Simple. And her seed is what? Jesus, or Jesus, children of God. So God is proclaiming what will be happen in the world. And he is showing until the end of the world in this verse. He shall bruise your head. What does it mean, the head? What does it mean, the head? I spoke to you. What does it mean, the head? Life. The head is life. So when Jesus was died, his head was down and died. So it means that the head is alive. So God says that He, the Jesus, shall bruise your head. Meaning today, Jesus will kill you at the end. And you, the Satan shall bruise his heel. His heel is a minor damage to Jesus. Jesus died, but he was resurrected. So when God announced this, which is all the history of the world from the beginning, the world will divide by two groups. The first group, who worship the God. The other group, who worship the God in vain. Do you understand? Okay, can you read this?
And Cain talked with Abel his brother.
And it came to pass when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against
Abel his brother and killed him.
Why Cain killed Abel? Huh? Jealousy? Yes, why jealousy? What happened to them? Can you speak louder? Inheritance? They fight with actually their first child. So Cain is a older brother. Abel was a second brother. The reason Cain killed the Abel is like this. They give the offering. Abel gave the offering the way God asked. The lamb. He gave the lamb. And the Cain, he harvests the fruit and the vegetable, and he gave the fruit and vegetable to the Lord. So what happened? God didn't accept the Cain's offering, but God only accepted Abel's offering. Why? Abel followed the way God instructed how to give the offering. Do you understand? Because the sacrifice, the lamb means the Jesus, not the vegetable. So God didn't accept the vegetable, but God accepted only the lamb. So Cain become jealousy in worshiping, and he killed the Abel. Just imagine when Adam and Eve saw first dead man, that was his own child. So now Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and killed him. Abomination or leads to desolation is the wrong way to worship God. So the way of the worship is quite important in the sight of the God. And from the first generation, it becomes split to two groups. First group, who worship God in right way. Second group, who worship God in wrong way. Do you understand now? Okay. Okay, next verse. Can we read it?
And he deceived those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of men. That if those who dwell on the earth make an image to the beast who was wanted by the word, he was granted power to give birth to the image of the beast. And the image of the beast shall both speak and was as many as for them, but the image of the beast to be killed.
Okay. So Bible says in the Revelation, if you understand Matthew 24 verse 15, you will understand about this. There is an image coming out, isn't it? Image. The image of the beast is same actually meaning, abomination of desolation in the Daniel. You will understand why little later. Okay? This image is not the idol. Idol is different words. This is image is a different word from the idol. And image of the beast is related with what? Worshipping. So if you don't worship in that image, you're gonna be killed. It's the same things with the Sunday law later. Okay. Show me the tax money. Let's just study about what is the image, okay? This is what the Jesus said that. Show me the tax money. So they brought him a denarius. And he said to them, whose image and inscription is this? When people is asking that should we give the tax or not, and Jesus is saying that bring the coin. And he sees the coin, whose image is this? And they said, this is what? This is the image of God, the emperor of the Rome, Caesar's. And we need to give the money of Caesar to the Caesar. We need to give money for the God to the God. So God says this. Image, the original word in Greek is eikon. Eikon. Eikon in Greek could be replaced with chelem, dumuth, semel, pasil in Hebrew. Eikon also could replace with ot in Hebrew. Just remember the ot, okay? In Hebrew, it could be ot. Why I show you the icon? Because the word in English icon came from the Greek, which is eikon too. Do you understand? So eikon this time is called in English icon. So when you see the icon of messenger, you know that what that is, isn't it? So when you see the icon, you already know what that means. For example, like this. Let's just see what icon is this. What is this? What this icon means? Wash your hands. So when you see just one icon show you many things what to do. Do you understand? So let's just see this. What is this icon? Means camera. Camera. Yes. What this icon means? There's some construction ongoing, isn't it? There's a work. What does this mean? No smoking, no fire, no knife. What is that? No art or no knife, right? You can carry. Or no come in. And they put the icon like this. So icon show you the sign. Do you understand? The sign. What is this?
Golden calf.
What?
The golden calf.
Yeah, calf. That's right. Gold calf. Idolatry. Worshipping idol. When you see this, what do you remember? Ten Commandments. So when we see icon, we know what that is. Another way, when we see the beast, image of the beast, we know who is the beast. Do you understand? We know who is beast. Because through that icon, we will know what that means. Exactly. So, there are two groups coming out from the word. God and his children, people who believe in Jesus. Another group, Satan and his children, and people who believe in Jesus in vain. Remember, Cain worshiped God or Cain worshiped Satan. When Cain gave offering with a vegetable and fruit, does he give that offering to the Satan or does he give it to the God? Huh? God. He also believed that he is doing his best to the God. But the result, God didn't accept that offering. And the one who is a vegetarian, I'm sure that Cain is a vegetarian, and he is a good person, but finally he become what? Killer of brother. Do you understand? And remember that he also a person who worshiped the God. So in the last days, who is going to persecute us is not Hindus or Buddhists. The one who going to persecute God's people is the people who say that I also trust in Jesus. Look, when last week we learned his people is the people who has a right faith. What is a right faith? The people follow his command. So these people are the people who keep the commandments of the God. But you look at this icon. What is his icon? Sun. Last time when I gave the message, there are two people, it was a split in history. The people who worship the sun and the people who worship the God. And with this many sun god, goddess, this is all the sun god from the Babylonian. They are people who worship the sun. So all of these goddess, their birthday is when? December 25. It's funny, isn't it? All of them, when we see their birthday in the book, their birthday is December 25. People who really believe in God. Can you read this?
Moreover, I also gave them my Sabbaths, with a sign between them and me, that they might know that I am the Lord who sanctifies them.
Yes. Moreover, I also gave them my Sabbath to be a sign. The sign, this word, is what? Oath, which is the same word with an icon. Do you understand? So when they see the Sabbath as an icon, God knows that and people knows that these people who truly believe God. But the sun, the icon of the sun, we see that when we see the icon of sun, these people is not. They believe in Jesus in vain. Do you understand what is the differences now? Okay. Revelation chapter 16 verse 2. Can you read it together?
So the first man that poured out his love upon the earth, and the fallen those songs were made by the men who had the mark of the beast on those who worshipped him.
Okay. The people who worship his image, this is the first disaster, 7 plagues, the first plagues. The first plague will be given to the people who worshiping his image. His image, icon. Do you understand? This is a word from the Greek icon, which the meaning now is icon. So we know that what icon they have, we will know what they worship for. If they really worship the God, we are the people, and we should be a people who follow the commands of the God. If they worship Sunday, they have a different icon from the true Christian. Understand? Okay. His image is a Sunday. His icon is a Sunday. Because this image must be related with worship. No other than the worship on Sunday, now this day. And as I spoke to you before, the Dubai, Arab Emirate, Dubai, they start to have rest on Sunday from 2022, January 1st. In other words, they are take a rest from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 3 days they take a rest. And they work only 4 days in Arab Emirates now. Before they never agree have a rest on Sunday. But I don't know why. Suddenly they change their law and they become Sunday. As you see, image at above words is icon 2, which is icon in English. So when we see icon, we know this is McDonald's or the Burger King, isn't it? At least you know McDonald's or Jollibee. Yes, yes. So when we see their icon, we know that who they worship for. Because in the Bible, the true icon between God and his people is what? The Sabbath day. Okay, this is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 16 to 17. This is the longest verse, but I hope you can see it. The reason I let you read this is like this. In Israelites, people from the Israel, before they were destroyed by the Babylon, they, in the temple of God, they worship the sun. Inside the temple of God, when they worship the sun, they are thinking sun is God. Do you understand? So this was happened just before destruction of Jerusalem. In other words, the reason that many Sunday worshippers among the Christians now we have is because it's a time to have destruction too. I hope you can read it and what God say about the Sunday worship. Sun worshiping, God says, also same words. Can you read it?
So we brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, and there at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men with their backs towards the temple of the Lord, and their faces toward the east. And they were worshiping the sun towards the east. And he said to me, Have you seen this, O Son of Man? This is the terrible thing that follows with the abominations which they commit here. For they have filled the land with violence. Then they have turned to provoke me to anger. Indeed, they put the flesh in their bones.
What does God say? Worship the sun is what? Abomination. So do you understand what is the abomination now? Abomination is what? Worshiping the sun. This is the abomination inside. Well, this video you saw many times, but I played this video because of Bill. This is a 4-minute video. Please listen carefully. Okay?
I have repeatedly offered $1,000 to anyone who can prove to me from the Bible alone that I am bound to keep Sunday holy. There is no such law in the Bible. It is a law of the Holy Catholic Church alone. The Bible says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. The Catholic Church says, no, by my divine power I abolish the Sabbath day and command you to keep holy the first day of the week. And lo, the entire civilized world bows down in reverent obedience to the command of the Holy Catholic Church. T. Enright, CSSR, in a lecture at Hartford, Kansas, February 18, 1884. The Catholic Church for over 1,000 years before the existence of a Protestant, by virtue of her divine mission, changed the day from Saturday to Sunday. The Catholic Mirror, September 23, 1893. Question: which is the Sabbath day? Answer: Saturday is the Sabbath day. Question: why do we observe Sunday instead of Saturday? Answer: we observe Sunday instead of Saturday because the Catholic Church in the Council of Laodicea, AD 336, transferred the solemnity from Saturday to Sunday. Peter Geierman, The Convert's Catechism of Catholic Doctrine, 2nd edition, 1910, page 50. Question: have you any other way of proving that the Church has power to institute festivals of precept? Answer: had she not such power, she could not have done that in which all modern religionists agree with her. She could not have substituted the observance of Sunday, the first day of the week, for the observance of Saturday, the seventh day, a change for which there is no scriptural authority. Stephen Keenan, a Doctrinal Catechism, page 174. There is but one church on the face of the earth which has the power or claims power to make laws binding on the conscience, binding before God, binding under penalty of hellfire. For instance, the institution of Sunday. What right has any other church to keep this day? You answer by virtue of the third commandment. The papacy changed the fourth commandment and called it the third, which says, remember that thou keep holy the Sabbath day. But Sunday is not the Sabbath. Any schoolboy knows that Sunday is the first day of the week. I have repeatedly offered $1,000 to anyone who will prove by the Bible alone that Sunday is the day we are bound to keep, and no one has called for the money. It was the Holy Catholic Church that changed the day of rest from Saturday, the seventh day, to Sunday, the first day of the week. T. Enright, CSSR, in a lecture delivered in 1893. I have repeatedly...
Yes, and now we are going to study. We already know what is abomination. Worshipping the sun. That is what? Abomination. And Daniel chapter 11 verse 31 says that, and forces shall be mustered by him, and they shall defile the sanctuary fortress. Then they shall take away the daily sacrifices and place there abomination of desolation. So, we understand abomination of desolation, that we should know what is a sanctuary means here, isn't it? There's another verse. Can you read it together?
And I heard a holy one speaking, and another holy one said to the certain one who was speaking, how long will the vision be concerning the daily sacrifices and the consummation of the substitution, the giving of the sanctuary and the apostasy of trample under the foot?
Okay. Well, in the Bible, there are two sanctuary. There are two vocabulary found in the Bible. The first one is a mikdash. Mikdash is the sanctuary here in Daniel chapter 11 verse 31. Mikdash is a whole place of the sanctuary. We call them mikdash. But there is another word that for the sanctuary, which is the second one. This sanctuary is a kodesh. You heard kodesh many times, isn't it? So, this is a mikdash, this is kodesh. So if there is a sanctuary, whole sanctuary is what? Mikdash. But when there's a division, right? There's a division which is a holy place is what? Kodesh. And inside the most holy is what? Kodesh, Kodesh. That's right. So Kodesh means the sanctuary, and Mikdash also means the sanctuary. So can you read this together?
And he shall come to bring your house. Then we shall bring the ark of the testimony in there. Behind the veil, the veil shall be divided for the between the holy place and the most holy.
Yes, the Mikdash or the Kodesh is used many times in the sanctuary. But Kodesh means really many. So this holy place is what? Kodesh. And the most holy is what? Kodesh, Kodeshim. Actually, Kodeshim, but it's from the Kodesh. So I just put Kodesh, Kodesh, so that you can understand more easily. Okay, let's just see what is also the Kodesh. Can you read this?
They shall be an heir and the sons when they come into the tabernacle of meeting, or when they come near the altar to minister in the holy place, that they do not incorrigibly bleed and die. It shall be established forever to me, and his descendants after me.
Yes, this holy place is also Kodesh. There is another Kodesh that we didn't know before. Can you read this? This is quite important. Okay, can you read it?
Then he said to them, this is what the Lord has said. Tomorrow is a Sabbath rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Eat what you bake today, and boil what you boil, and lay up for yourselves all that remains, to keep it until morning.
Yes. When we in Bible, Genesis chapter 2, verse 3, God made the seventh day holy. Sure, that holy also from the Kodesh, but right word is Kadash. Kadash and Kodesh is the same word, but just coming out from the Kodesh. So God, why we keep the Sabbath? I explained you before. Why? God made this Sabbath holy, right? Kodesh. The reason is like this. When we sin, we lost our holiness. And God made this holy. So every time we join in the holiness, we become holy too. So we are practicing being holy during this Sabbath day. To make us holy, God said, I made a Sabbath for you, but I'm the Lord of the Sabbath. Do you understand? Why? I should be the Lord of the Sabbath because if I give my Sabbath to you and you can control that, you will change my Sabbath. So God says that, Jesus said, I'm the Lord of the Sabbath, but I made this Sabbath for you. So we can come into that holiness. So Satan needs to change this day to other day. Why? So that we will not restore our holiness. So Matthew 24, verse 15, Exodus. Okay. Holy man also, Kodesh. Okay. So Matthew chapter 24, verse 15, which is the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel, the prophet standing in the holy place, is holy. There's no actually the word of the place, but this holy Sabbath, when Sunday replaced in the place of the Sabbath, which is Sunday. Then, after that, we need to run away to the mountain. Do you understand? Okay. I understood this because this verse. We read Daniel chapter 11, verse 31, but verse 30 says this way. We need to understand who is a him, he, his, he, and we need to know what is a holy covenant. Can you read it together?
Because of the western coast ran to the coast, and he will go apart, and he will turn back and vent his spirit against the holy covenant. He will return and show favor to those who forsake the holy covenant.
Yes. What does it mean, holy covenant? When sheep of the western coastland will oppose him, he shall lose heart, then he will turn back and vent his fury against the holy covenant. So this he doesn't like the holy covenant. Can you see it? He against and he get angry to the holy covenant. He will return and show favor. He likes the people, those who forsake the holy covenant. So he is the person, if somebody not keeping the holy covenant, he likes it. He, him, his, he means who changed the holy covenant. Holy covenant is Kodesh. And Berit is a covenant. Means covenant, alliance, and promise. Can you read this? What is a covenant? Can you read this?
So we declare to you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, the 10 commandments, and you wrote them into tables.
What is the covenant? There's 10 commandments. So he didn't like the people who keep the 10 commandments, the holy commandments. And in 10 commandments, only one commandment has the word of holy, Kodesh. What is that? Sabbath. So we can know who is him. He is surely. He is the one who changed the 10 commandments, the Pope. So I understand. That is the reason why I could understand the next verse is talking about Sunday law. Okay, we have read this already. But you see he will turn back and vent his fury against the holy covenant. That same forces coming out in the New Testament in Revelation. Can you read this together?
And the dragon was enraged with the woman, and he went to make war with the rest of the offspring, who keep the commandments
the dragon? The city. So we can see how Pope is related with the Satan. They are both angry and fury, gives a fury against the people who keep the Holy Covenant, which is the commandments of God. Do you understand? Okay. So Matthew 24, we can understand. Mark 14, we can understand. Next one, I will ask Bill. Bill, can you read it for us? How long? Can you read it for us?
Dignitaries of church and state will unite to bribe, persuade, or compel all classes to honor the Sunday. Lack of divine authority will be supplied by oppressive enactments. Political corruption is destroying love of justice and regard for truth, and even in free America, rulers and legislatures, in order to secure public favor, will yield to the popular demand for a law enforcing Sunday observance. Liberty of conscience, which has cost so great a sacrifice, will no longer be respected. In the soon coming conflict, we shall see exemplified the prophet's words. The dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
Yes, this is the book of great controversy. I think I gave you the book of the great controversy. It's in there, actually. Well, somebody will ask, Mr. Han, when we will have the Sunday law? Soon? No, not soon. I cannot say soon. Because there are some things that need to be happen more. I will explain you. But during the time of Benedict, the Pope, he says it like this. What does Sunday, the day of the Lord? Is that day of the Lord? No. The Jesus said, I'm the Lord of the Sabbath. The Sunday is not day of the Lord. Yes, his Lord is somewhat different Lord compared to God. It is a day for rest and for family. God says that seventh day we need to take a rest, isn't it? But he says that this is the rest for the family. But first of all, a day for him. Wow. Is that biblical? Or this is against the Bible? I believe this is totally against the Bible. The French just say it like this: workers should have Sunday off because Sunday is for the family. Calling for Sundays to be a holiday. Wow. The Bible says that Sunday is a holiday? Never. The Sunday is actually for the day who worship the sun, not worship the God. But how they changed the Sunday and they said now it's a holiday. Structure of Matthew 24, I missed something last time. So I need to very briefly need to teach you. I have only 5 minutes, then I think it will be finished soon. Okay. Structure of Matthew 24, which is there is a tell us last day starts. Maybe this is the first time you hear, or somebody did you hear this before? Okay. Matthew chapter 24, verse 4 to 6 say that the churches, the false Jesus many will come in my name, and misleading, and many rumors and wars will be there. But in verse 7 and 8 says that beginning of sorrow. Jesus is pointing beginning of sorrow. Beginning of sorrow is a beginning of last day. But this beginning of last day starting, and there is a condition. What is the condition? Pestilence, famine, earthquake should become all over the world. Do you understand? So if pestilence come as all over the world, right? This is first time. This is one of the signs telos start, which means the last day start. Why last day is important? Because these last days will be finished before one generation. Do you understand? So I don't know, it will take 40 days like before, because when Jesus said about the fall of the Jerusalem, it took 40 years to fall of the Jerusalem. But I cannot say it will take 40 years or not, but I'm sure it will be shortened than 40 years because the our globe, our earth cannot sustain anymore. And he says like this, we will have a tribulation. Why we will have a tribulation? When pestilence, famine, and earthquake come all over the world, one time, remember one time, in all over the world. Like a, what? Like a COVID. Pestilence come all over the world, one time, right? Same method, famine and earthquake will come all over the world. This is the what? Luke chapter 21 verse 35 says it. All over the world, to all the people, this will be happen very clearly. So we know that now we are living there in 7 and 8 verse. Then when we will say that the earth is over, that we are living in the last days, Pope will against us. Why? He will say that we can still recover the nature, but we say this earth is over. So there's a conflict. Surely we will be lesser number, so we will have a tribulation. Those who keep the word of God will be killed. They will be killed without the law. That's why it says that the Bible says lawlessness will be everywhere. False prophet will come and they said we are wrong, they are right. And he says it like this, endure to the end. The end is to tell us. So endure during the last days, then you will go to heaven. Gospel will be preached in the whole world before telos start. In other words, we say that words of the God should be preached all over the world. It's already done. Why? Because telos started. Do you understand? So we don't need to focus this because the gospel of God is everywhere now in the world. And verse 15, which we studied, the Daniel, when you see abomination of desolation standing in the holy places, which is the Sunday law. When Sunday stands over the Sabbath, this is happened. Then after that, 16 to 20, persecution start. Why? The law give authority to the people to kill or to persecute. Because the Pope will claim that this disaster comes because the people who keep the Sabbath. And the Bible immediately says, do not get the things from the house. Also with child and the nurses, babies, flee to the mountain. Immediately it says evacuate from your position. It meaning to say, do not get the things from the house. Those people who work in the field, meaning to say we need to stop the working. Okay? Pray for not to be on winter or Sabbath. In other words, the people who keep the Sabbath will have this persecution. The one thing I miss is this. Probation end. The Great Tribulation, Daniel chapter 12 verse 1, which is going together with the tribulation, the Great Tribulation, which is verse 21, which is the probation already ended this time. And fake Jesus will appear, which is Satan himself will appear as a Jesus. And he will persecute the people before never happened. And we call that Jacob's tribulation. Can you read this together?
Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by the end of the prophet, standing in the holy place.
Whoever reads, let him understand. And verse 16?
Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains.
17? Let him who is on the house.
Not go down to take anything out of his house. And everything which is the field that move up in places close. But those who are pregnant and those who are nursing babies in those places. And pray that there will not be in winter or in summer.
When we read it, you can know after the Sunday law stand, then we should have action like this. But you will not understand this fully because why the people not at the rooftop, then they should not go back to the house. Sure, there is a meaning. I hope I have a time to explain about this next time. Let's pray.